The sense of doership is essentially an overlay. It is a primordial afterthought built into the human organism through force of habit, through the, let's say, primordial ignorance, and it becomes enmeshed in our samskaras. Nevertheless, it remains an afterthought. It is now, always has been, and always will be, until it drops away, an afterthought. What do I mean by an afterthought? It is like a clown that comes onto the stage after the performance and takes a bow, taking credit for the performance of the dancer. The sense of doership, the thought, I did that, or I thought that, that was my thought, arises, and the subsequent feeling, identified feeling, arises after the action. The action happens, and then the sense of doership takes claim of the action. In self-realization, it is revealed that the self, the substratum of consciousness, is infinite, it's not finite, and it's all pervading. There is no center, or everywhere is its center. The self is absolute, which is to say that the totality of the self is contained in every particle. The fullness of consciousness, all of consciousness, is contained in the bindu, it is said in the tantric tradition. And so, it's helpful to understand that all action is a divine happening. It's not something done by any independent, autonomous entity from the outset, because we're going for enlightenment as spiritual aspirants, as sadhakas on the path, as tantric practitioners, as yogis and yoginis, as meditators. We are attempting to uncover or to reveal our true nature. We want that awakening, enlightenment, satori. And when satori happens, it is revealed that the self, or our Buddha nature, or the ground of being, or what is universal, not personal. Always has been universal, not personal, and forever will be universal and not personal. And henceforth it is revealed, therefore, that all action is a spontaneous happening. Thoughts arise. There is no thinker, because the self is universal, existing everywhere equally, and not anywhere specifically, and certainly not in separate locations as separate selves. This is the world view that's commonly held, and this is the view of the ego. And when that egoic I, when the false self is seen through or falls away in the revelation of the oneness of being, thereafter, when the body-mind continues to function and operate in reaction or in response to events according to its nature, pretty much as before the awakening, it is then revealed, there never was a doer. All action was always a spontaneous response. It was a happening. It's not that after the revelation of the self and the sense of doership falls away because its basis is gone, that thereafter life is a spontaneous happening. Life always was, always has been, is now, and forever will be a spontaneous arising. Life in the phenomenal realm, the flow of events, the flowering and unfolding of the universe. And it's revealed in awakening. When the self is revealed, the self is the unchanging substratum. So not only is there no separate locus, no entity that can be said to be the doer or the thinker, but the universal self that is revealed, what is unchanging. An unchanging silence that is infinite, unbounded, ever present. It's of the nature of contentment itself. And I guess the great paradox is that it is also revealed that from the standpoint of our true nature, the universal presence, it can also be said or viewed that we are shining the sun. So you can either say, I am doing everything, I am the totality, or you could say, I am doing nothing, and yet I appear to be doing this or doing that or not doing something else. And all of that is the movement of the universe. So, what are the benefits of this at the stage of the sadhaka, of the yogi, of the meditator, in terms of the intellectual understanding, which is part of sadhana, to mull over the nature of consciousness, the nature of being, the nature of the self, the nature of the ego. Ingesting the teachings, weighing them up, considering them, thinking about them. And the two dispositions, life is a spontaneous happening on the one hand, and we are all responsible for our actions and we're independent, separate doers on the other, have very different consequences. On the one hand, life is a spontaneous happening. We are being lived. My action is actually, and your action is the movement of the universe. If a thought arises, it's the universe appearing as that thought, the universe giving rise to that thought. The universe is that thought. This perspective gives rise to peace, to acceptance, to surrender. to flow states, to ease, the ease of being. It reveals the lightness of being, the totality of being. This is the home of and the source of true, spontaneous forgiveness, deep, authentic compassion, humility, deep humility, profound gratitude. On the other hand, the outlook that and the belief in being a someone who does something, that we are the agents, responsible, the doers, the thinkers. This viewpoint gives rise to pride, to envy, to guilt, to blame, to shame, to hatred, and the burden of responsibility. So we can see there's enormous benefit in even just the intellectual understanding that we are instruments through which totality is functioning. You could look at it this way: we are not the ultimate source of our own actions. We are not the ultimate source of our own actions. This understanding gives rise to compassion. If something happens through the vehicle of the action of another that upsets us or hurts us, and we have the deep understanding and the deep acceptance that we are not the ultimate source of our actions, then we can appreciate that no one does anything to hurt another. Who would do that? We realize, in the flow of events, such and such has come about. He or she would prefer things be different. Who would not, if they could choose, but be a saint or a sage? And likewise, when some interplay of forces and series of events come together such that they produce in one's life some kind of almost miraculous or beautiful or unexpected beneficial outcome, in the understanding that I am but an instrument of consciousness and the totality itself has brought this about, we are given to, and we have space within us for, we have a heart that is profoundly open to the arising of gratitude. Gratitude for all of the events and the activity and action and the spontaneity, the forces of the universe, the whimsy of the universe, the miraculous nature of the unfolding of life that brings about the promotion at work or the unexpected job or meeting the one we fall in love with, meeting a teacher when we didn't expect to. Gratitude, a feeling of serendipity. Life is always full of an energy that's presenting itself as a profound joy, which takes the form of a seemingly infinite amount of wondrous circumstances that are, in and of themselves, intrinsically wondrous expressions of the wholeness of the universe. Take, for example, a baby that passes you by in a pram, be it laughing or crying, sleeping. It's wondrous to behold. Or a puppy you see while you're at the shops, or a flower blooming in the concrete in the sidewalk. Or you're in the shops and there's fish that you're going to buy. The fact that the fish exists and has ended up in the shop, you didn't need to be swimming in the ocean or fishing for it. There it is. It's been scaled and gutted and sliced and the bones have been removed. All you need to do is take it home and cook it. If we have the disposition that I am the recipient of, the witness of, and the presence in which this miracle of the wholeness of life is flowering, is unfolding itself. And here, this is what it has become, the fish that I shall eat for dinner. You see, every circumstance is an occasion for wonderment, provokes wonderment, bewilderment at the miracle of the unfolding of the energy of life, the play of consciousness, the mother's Leela. And we can contrast that with the outlook that says that there's something to gain somewhere else that will bring me fulfillment. And I will get there by my power, by hook or by crook. He might help me, she might hurt me. This is good. I'll avoid this. And all of that happens spontaneously as well. Everything is a spontaneous happening. It's, as my Guru Master Charles used to say, a theatre of the absurd. And there's nothing you can do to get there except bring the understanding to mind. Meditate on it, cogitate on it, think about it, reflect on it, and then let it go. And the understanding will assert itself. It will have its effect. And part of the effect of this understanding that we are not the source, we are not the ultimate source of our own actions, is that it not only helps to loosen our grip, as it were, and open the heart, bringing about gratitude and wonderment, compassion and forgiveness, self-kindness, and kindness to others. These are all increased as a natural consequence of this understanding and this type of reflection and meditation, being open to this possibility that we are in fact instruments through which the totality is functioning. We are in fact movements of the universe itself, which moves through us as our thoughts, as our intention, if intentions arise, as our will. One's will, as it were, is an expression of the movement of the universe. There is will, it's just not yours. There is free will. The universe has it. And this also helps to deepen self-inquiry. If I'm not the doer, then who am I? When things happen that we would prefer happened otherwise, we are brought to the edge of our power. And such a event causes us to shudder a little and may precipitate a crack in our veneer. And as Leonard Cohen wrote, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. So, our thoughts arise spontaneously. Our actions happen spontaneously. All of the events that are happening in the world are likewise spontaneous. So the next time someone flips you off in the traffic, remember this and have compassion. You too may end up in the exact scenario that they're in, or something very similar, where the response of your organism is to flip someone off yourself. Understanding, I am not the thinker, thoughts arise. I am not the doer. Actions happen. The universal intelligence is evenly distributed. And this can lead you to a deeper surrender. This can open into a deep inquiry into the nature of the power behind all of the activity. It can open the humility of understanding I am but an instrument. What is the power behind the activity? What's the nature of the awareness that's witnessing the spontaneous functioning? What is the nature of what is? Om Namah Shivaya.